What is cookie popping, you beautiful humans? My name is Ariane Andrew,
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another special edition of Sippin' the Tea. Where we what, girl?
where we sip the tea and our guests.
Oh, well, I forgot my tea today, so I'm hoping he spills his tea.
Anthony Alabi, here we go.
Listen,
Where's Mama? Where's your little?
you know the dedication to doing this show for everybody. I'm at another job doing another thing, but I'm like, I'm gonna roll in and I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get it done. And I think the timing of this is very interesting. So, our guest, Anthony Alabi, family reunion with Tia Mowry, and one of my personal favorites because it's a little gag worthy for me. The Queen, Loretta Devine.
Yep.
That is, Google that. Sir, last night your show actually won an NAACP Image Award for outstanding program. So we are very happy that you're here with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next week, April 5th, it comes back for season 3 on Netflix.
It does. That's right. That's right.
There's your introduction. Welcome.
That's a hell of an introduction. I appreciate it. No, it's great. Honestly, last night finding out, my executive producer called me and he was just like, "Hey, congratulations!" And I was like, "About what? Which thing? What happened? What do we do? Did we get picked up?" And so it was such an amazing feeling. We didn't honestly. I mean, we won last year. We weren't expecting to win a second year in a row. It was a lot of tough competition. So it was really fun to be able to get that and kind of reward the work that we did during quarantine and how hard everybody kind of pushed through the full year of filming.
Yeah. I mean, you have quite a story, which we're gonna dive into. But before we do that, I mean, you're on cloud nine right now. So many great things are happening for you. But if we take a little bit of a rewind, 2020 definitely took us by storm. It was a very interesting year, I should say.
Yep. For sure.
So, we're going to focus on the positives. When you look back at 2020, what was something that you took away with your career, personally, and with your family?
In all three of those things, I think it's the same concept, and I think it's patience. I think 2020 really made everyone kind of slow down, because I feel like before that we were all kind of in a rat race. I mean, we still are, for the most part. Yeah. But I think this really made everybody go, okay, settle down. What's important to you? What do you need out of life? What's your why? And I think once that kind of happened, it helped everybody kind of mellow out of it. Now, some of us obviously were more anxious than others because it's a pandemic. But I think just career-wise, me not going and getting and chasing and going and just really focusing on family and enjoying the fact that I'm healthy and I'm not hurting or I'm not sick, and just really appreciating what you have. And I think patience really helped a lot with that. So now going into this, when we're starting to open back up a little bit, I think patience is kind of the key, the word of the day for everybody, to kind of just really take it slow. You don't have to run right off the gate. It's all good. It'll all be there.
I think that's a first, that's our kind of question to get the icebreaker. And I feel like that's such a simple but profound word. And I don't think anybody has said that at all. Like, there was retrospective and all of this, but patience, when I thought about it just sat me there and I was like, okay.
It's true. I mean, it's something we all need.
Be patient, take it in.
I always say be aggressively patient, because we're always chasing after so many things, but it's like, okay, you have to work for things, but be aggressively patient. A little spin.
Exactly. I like that. Okay. All right. I'll take it.
I like that. What I did love about your story, so we all have Ari has her day jobs, and this is turning into a whole different thing for us, this platform that we have, Sippin' the Tea. But one of my clients, Nolan Carroll, played for the Miami Dolphins. And as I was researching, I was like, well, let's go back. Let's go back, because the conversations I had with him about discipline and mindset and what he learned and now has taken into the entrepreneurial world, I want to you, sir, and be like, take me back to Texas and the beginning of your, you can fast forward a little bit, but take me back to that kind of moment where you're playing at the level where people dream of playing, and you're there and you have this other tangent aspiration, and kind of how that played with your psyche, and you know what I mean? Because I think it's pretty profound.
It's a crazy thing. Don't ask me to do it twice because I don't think it would happen. I just know that I just know that when I was there, it's tough. It's really hard. So when I was playing football, I knew that I was competitive and I wanted to play football and it's everything I wanted. But growing up, being an actor was kind of the thing for me. It was just like the end all be all. It's what I really, really wanted. But you come out of the womb and you're 6'6", 360 pounds. You play football in Texas, so that's what it is. You are branded, and they're like, "That's what you're doing," and here's a steak. But I think when it came down to it, and I finally got enough years to be vested in order to gain retirement in the NFL, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do what I want to do now. And I used the NFL as a good start, as opposed to something that's like a 14, 15-year career, which is totally fine. I mean, many guys do that, but I think as you notice, the trend now is guys having, shorter times in the NFL because they're starting to see the long-term effects of that. And they're starting to see that, if I get my money early, if I do what I'm supposed to do and I take care of my body, I can have a healthy life and still be able to do all the things I want to do, as opposed to a 15, 20-year career where you're rich, but half of that money is going to go towards nurses and doctors and treatment to make sure that you're able to function. So I think that's the biggest thing for me is I was just like, I got to get out of here because this is what I really want to do. And I can do this forever.
Wow.
That's so true. Well,
Yeah.
I really love that though, because you're speaking about passion. And for the most part, most people will just do something based off of money, but they're like, am I truly happy? And it goes back to what you say before, like the why. Why am I doing this?
I was saying my one of my best friends, he would always say, like, you're annoyingly ambitious. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people, and I joke around with my wife because it's like from Kanye West or Step Brothers, where it's like, not to quote Kanye West, but it's you know what I'm talking about. It's one of those things that I think people, in a funny way, they lose their dinosaur. And it's true. It's like you go up to somebody and it's like no one grew up and was like, yeah, I want to work in a cubicle and data process all day long. That was my dream growing up. And nobody says that. They're like, no, I wanted to be a fireman. But somewhere along the way, someone told you that was stupid, or that's not really achievable, or they don't make enough money, or it's not good enough. And you switched and you pivoted. And because they kind of pacify you by giving you 6 figures a year and just enough money to kind of make it, but not be okay, then I think we all settle into this thing where it's like, no, that's my career. That's what I do. As opposed to focusing on the happy first and finding that happy and that passion. And when you find that, the money comes. It just comes, and I think that's the thing that we lack a lot right now.
So true. Yeah. I mean, so the thing is, it's like, I was reading one of the interviews that you had and how, you've been studying and audition after audition, and, they're hurtful when you keep getting no, and you finally got that big break of, family reunion. But for someone out there who's kind of on the same path that you're on and is trying to break in, like, what advice would you give them? Because getting no's, just we're humans, like it hurts, like
it hurts.
That no, you're like, well, I want to give up. So what kept you going?
The thing is, with me, it's like when I set a goal and when I it's something that I want to do and you're passionate about it, and it's just, I think Martin Freeman, Martin Freeman was interviewed once and he was asked, like, what if there wasn't acting, or what if there wasn't television? And he goes, well, then I become an inventor and invent television so I can be on it. And I think that's what it is. It's that kind of passion where it's like, this is all I want to do. And when it's all you want to do, then no or a casting director or a director or a bad experience with another actor is going to make you stop that. Because what it is I'm thinking way beyond this. I'm thinking past this. This is just a stepping stone and I need to move that way. And I think the biggest advice you can give to somebody who's starting off in this business is, if you can be happy doing anything else, do that. Anything else. If anything else will make you happy, do that, because this business is a lot of hurt. It's a lot of pain, but you push through. And when you push through, it's a deferred gratification that comes that makes everything worth it. But that's not going to come right now. It's rare that comes right now. It's rare that you get somebody that comes out and it's like, first audition, booked it. I'm in a Brad Pitt film and I'm this is great, and I just take off.
Right.
Pour another cup and keep it moving.
I want to kind of take on, because you mentioned when you answered that question about advice, and I think you're working with some of the people that I've looked up to and I've known for across generations, Loretta, Tia, have they been like a channel of support, and what advice have they given you in terms of, like this is season 3 coming up of the show?
Right.
So it's like,
I think the biggest thing that they did was it's more by example. So I think that, when you see Tia, especially in season 1, going through like motherhood and post-pregnancy and working out and trying to kind of get back to the body that she wanted and pumping, while we're in between takes, and you see that kind of dedication, you see the determination in her to make sure that we still have a quality product. And then you go, across the screen and you see Loretta, and she's 70 something years old, and she's just like us. Energy is there, just every take, every night, just kind of going. And that for me was the inspiring thing, where don't ever lose that fire. Don't ever lose that passion that you have for what you do. No matter how many times you do it, no matter how many episodes or shows you go through, it's like you got to keep going and keep doing that. And I think that was the biggest thing that I took from them, other than a ton of laughing and enjoying the entire experience. I mean, they're so easy to work with that you really, it's kind of autopilot. Like you throw something up and they throw it back and you're playing. And next thing you know, they'll cut and you're like, wait, what? Oh, my bad. So I think
rehearsing, we're just having a good time. What's popping?
Right, exactly. And we get in trouble all the time for that.
Yeah, it feels so authentically like a family. I'm like, you forget watching it. I think that's why it's transcended and translated so well. You guys on it. You're like doing a phenomenal job. So hats off to you, sir. Like
thank you.
Crew, for real.
I appreciate it. We honestly, that's why we're so proud of each other, just because of the fact that, while we're on set and doing everything, Loretta treats me like her son. She really does. And I treat her like my mom. I'm like, stop drinking soda, like put it down, So I think that helps in kind of the everyday to treat each other in those roles. Tia and I, we talk pretty much every night. Like we're always texting or talking about something or discussing scenes or discussing different scenarios and things that are happening for production. But I think those are the kinds of relationships that really, push it through and keep it going.
Especially in a time like this, I can imagine like that and the whole difference in the adaptation that you guys would have to see about to what.
Right.
Probably really helped you guys like through, really.
Well, in all honesty, they're the only people who have seen their faces, like their actual faces.
Yeah, wow.
It's like, but it's like that now, isn't it? It's just like now, if you happen to catch someone's like nose down, that's intimate. That means we're close. If I can see your nose and I can see your chin, that means we're close. We're intimate now. So
that's in Florida where I am, so you never know what's happened.
Yeah, that's true. Your spring breakers are off the chain right now.
Oh, no. They're not from here. No.
People like, don't give Florida a bad name.
Hell no.
So funny.
Speaking of your show, and you play a father, and you're a father in real life, when you're tapping into your acting, is there a difference of who you are as a character? Do some of those real father characteristics come out when you're acting, or do you keep them separate? One's the character and one's like I'm a father at home, or do they intertwine?
There's some things that intertwine. I think my kids are so much younger than my kids on the show. In real life, my kids are 4 and 2.
Yeah.
And on the show, it's, all the way from 9 to, 16, I think she is now. So it's kind of, it's a different dynamic. But what it is it's nice because it's almost like a time machine where I get to see what I'm gonna have to deal with in the future. So I'm just like, damn it, I'm gonna skip this phase. But I think that the parallels come in just relating to Mose and how frustrating it can be sometimes with kids where it's all emotional or they just don't understand what the future plan is and those kinds of things. And I work really closely with my executive producer. So I think that's the best part of it, is that I get to kind of dip my toe into teenage problems, but I don't really have to like sell out into it. So yeah. I'm like, not yet. I told my wife at home, I was like, once they turn about 13, I'm gonna just step out and I'll be back at like 22. So is that cool? Is that all right? No? Okay.
Hell no.
Yeah, she's like, no. So
that's hilarious. How has parenting been during a pandemic, children at home? Oof. How has that been just from your perspective?
It honestly, I don't feel as bad for us as I do for parents who have like 9-year-olds or like a teenager, because that's tough, because they want to go out, they want to see their friends, they want to hang out, they want to do stuff, and you're just like, you got to say no. Ours are 4 and 2, so our house just became their world. So that's just they just like, yeah, this is normal for us. That we're gonna go out to the back, and then we're gonna go play in the play area, and then we're gonna have lunch, and then we're gonna go watch some TV, and then what I mean. So they just love that routine. They just started back at preschool again, so they're having a blast and they love it. The only thing that I kind of miss with my kids is like they have no idea about a restaurant. They have no idea about traveling or flying. So those are going to be things that we're going to have to introduce probably in the summer, they're going to be like, why are all these people, what is going on? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how my 2-year-old adapts to, people being around.
Ooh, definitely. It's definitely been a time of just adapting in general, which is, it's been great, sure. But it's also been hard, it's like, but as human beings, I think we don't give ourselves enough credit to think about like what we went through and how we've adapted and come so far. So
my wife, many times in the beginning of this thing, in the beginning of quarantine, like late March, April last year, she was just, and I didn't get it as much as she did, but she was like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. And I was like, I know. And she's like, but we're having to stay home. Do you understand there's a disease that's out there? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, human beings just adapt. They just adapt to anything. Like we just adapted, and we were like, yeah, there's a deadly pandemic running around, and we're just gonna stay home, wear masks, and wash our hands. That's what it is. And it's just crazy, how that works out. So you just adapt to that lifestyle, and then you come out of it and you're like, oh man, that's right. We've been here for a year. Everyone thought it was gonna be 2 weeks. So
it's easier when you're married to somebody like you, because you're funny as hell. So I'm glad you transitioned from NFL, because even hearing you talk about a pandemic, I can't help but giggle. It's like your comedic timing is quite something, man. Let me tell you.
It's who I work with, man. You got to stay sharp. Sharp.
I was like, this is not funny. But the way you're doing it, I'm like, I can't.
What's not funny about all the? No, I'm just kidding. No, it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. But but honestly, like everybody has to kind of find some kind of silver lining in it, or you're just gonna kind of go nuts, And I think that's the thing and that's where the patience comes in, right? Where it's like you just got to be patient with yourself. You got to be, when you're feeling, depressed or anxious, or, you eat another snack late at night because you're just like, you know what? We're in the middle of a pandemic and I'm going to do this. And so it's like, it feels that way. And you're just like, I mean, my wife and I call it the food towel. Like we get the food towel out, and it's just like, we're going to watch our show. We're going to lay down some towels. We're going to have some snacks. And that's what it is. That's just what it is. So I think you do whatever you can to kind of make it a good like respite for you, as opposed to just kind of being freaked out 24/7.
So true. Very good perspective. And on top of that too, you have such a dope wife. I mean, she
is so dope.
Yes, like she tells you, like, hey, you know what? This is your career. If we have to live in a cardboard box, Bill, you gonna live out your dreams. So you guys seem like you have such solid foundation.
She's my soulmate, like for sure, 100%. She's just, been since day one, has been supportive. She's my acting coach. I mean, to be honest with you,
oh wow,
she is. She's the one
that's coming live from the golf course. Now I see where you are.
I know. There we go. I told you, my executive producer, he forced me to come out here. So I'm like, I got an interview. He's like, you better do it on the course. Okay.
Adapt.
So, yeah, exactly. Adapt. But she's amazing. And I made fun of her last night because I'm the neat freak in the house, and I'm the one that always wants to pick up and make sure everything's clean. Because for some reason I think good housekeeping is like right out the door. They're like, I don't walk in at any moment. So I'm like always placing things. So it's funny because she'll sit there and she's, I tell her, I'm like, you're a superhero. You really are. Like, you take care of me, you take care of the kids, like you have your career, you're balancing, like you're like a superhero. And I'm like the guy that cleans up all the mess the superhero makes when they're saving the day. Because she just like her clothes are everywhere. You know what I mean? Like she cooks and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you made a meal, but there are 12 spoons and 15 pots everywhere. So I have to clean all that. And so it's just, that's the deal in our house, is that she does all the cool stuff and gets the accolades for it. I'm in the back like the Black Oracle, just kind of cleaning stuff up.
I think that's actually beautiful. I like that. I like that. Happy wife, happy life, they say. That's the motto. No. That's the motto.
Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, man. That's it. We both give. We're both
So we're gonna go ahead and do some rapid fire. So it's gonna just be the first thing that you can think of, real quick. Not a storybook, please. Let's keep it cute and light.
I'm trying to tee off, man. Let's go. Rapid fire.
You got it.
So name one fun fact about you.
I love Star Trek.
Oh,
Huge sci-fi.
that's an interesting little
All the
take.
characters, all the scenarios, Stargates. I'm trying to learn Klingon once. Like, I'm super nerd about that.
That's an interesting one. All right, so if your house is on fire, we're gonna take children and wife away. So let's talk about physical things.
Okay.
What are two things you're gonna grab, and your children and your wife aren't inside? So it's just you.
Okay, golf clubs, that's for sure. You see where I'm at. You see this.
Yeah.
Golf clubs. What else? What else am I grabbing? Damn. Block of cheese, because I love cheese. That's it. That's all I can think of. That's it. There we go.
That is the best answer.
You might have to talk to your wife about that because I don't know how to shoot about a block of cheese.
I mean, like, let me get that sharp cheddar and a 9 wedge. That'll work. Let me get that.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh God. Invisibility.
Okay.
Invisibility. I just think it's nice because that way, like, when you don't want to be seen, you don't have to be seen, and then you can, sneak up on people and see what they really think about you.
That.
Real. The shade is real. All right, Ari, take us out, Lulu.
Yes. So for everybody who is living under a rock, let everybody know where they can follow you at. Watch your show. It is season 3 comes out next week. So go ahead and spill the tea and let everybody know where we can follow you at.
So on Instagram, you can follow me at Anthony Alabi Official, and on Twitter, it's at Anthony Alabi. My website, anthonyalabiofficial.com. And the show drops April 5th on Netflix. Go watch it. And if you haven't caught up, then go back and watch season 1, parts 1 and 2. Enjoy that. And we got some more.
Whoa.
Where can everybody follow you at, Matt?
You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983 and this ferocious beast at It's Mama 2011.
You guys can follow me at Ariane Andrew across the board. And of course, follow Sippin the Tea TV show on Instagram at Sippin the Tea TV show. On Twitter, Sippin the Tea TV1. And of course, subscribe and like and comment on our YouTube.
All the things.
All the things. And for people who are more auditory,
All the things.
You can listen to us on all digital streaming platforms. But we'll catch you guys same time, same place of another episode of Sippin the Tea TV show.
Yes. We're just you're gonna do that again. Wait, I'm gonna do some.
Yeah, you got the wrong number. Click.